Hello, I'm Purelight. Welcome to another episode of my Christmas countdown. Today we're opening day 11 of my Minecraft Advent Calendar. Aha, we have some warped stairs. I've been using lots of these lately on the rooftops of my base. I always think that roofs in particular are one of the most difficult bits of building in Minecraft. And so in my base here on the Crafting for Christ server, I've gone for a similar style in most of the buildings. And that way I don't have to think through a whole new idea for how I'm going to do the roof every time. I think that it helps to give a bit of consistency to the different builds, that brings them together, and yeah, I quite like the way that they've all got a bit of a similar sort of a feel to them, but in lots of different materials. So this building at the end here, this is the first big building that I built over here, and it was to accommodate my villagers who are harvesting some potatoes and I think carrots on the other side. And I went for this rather pointed roof shape that uses a lot of wood, but I think it gives an attractive shape and it makes it look a little bit more interesting than the 45-degree sloped roof that I went for on my starter house over there. So here we have the front of the river where it comes in, a little bit of an inlet, and we've got some of these houses. This one's mainly sandstone with an oak roof and then all sorts of different blocks for the accents. This one here, we've got some pale oak and other pale whitish coloured blocks at the bottom and some oak at the top, and then the warped stairs making up the majority of the roof. I think all these houses have got frames that are either oak logs or stripped spruce logs, which have a similar colour but obviously a bit of a different texture to them. Here we've got the smiths of various sorts. You've got the armourer and the toolsmith and the weaponsmith, and they're in a nice flameproof home. And the roof here is that deep slate variance, and with just a little highlight of stone on the corner. Most of these roofs have that same design, so they're mainly one colour with a little stripe of an accent down each side. So you can see on this one with the deep slate roof and then an oak accent. The other handy thing about this design is if you put trapdoors up there, it does mean you can get up and down while you're building. And then they have different designs on the very top of the roof. So that this one over here, which is where our banner making studio is, that's got some iron bars on top of granite walls with the fence gates in between. So this one has got some of the terracotta and some plants and things. This one over here, this is, as you can see, it's got a wood store down here, because inside here we've got the saplings that we're using out here in the square for our 2x2 trees. So the spruce and pale oak and dark oak and things like that, and jungle trees. And so although it's a sort of a decorative square, but actually it's where I grow quite a lot of the wood that I use in the builds. This one is lots of growing things. This person, I think, is growing all sorts of different plants and things to supply an apothecary or perhaps the clerics. And so there's all sorts of different plants. There's even a bit where the wall has caved in here and some of the foliage has started to grow in there. It's got the crimson wood as a roof. And again, that same design with a stripe of dark oak at the side. This map can give you an indication of something of the variety of different colours and shapes involved in our little village. Looking at the village from a little way away, it's the roofs with their different shapes and different colours that stand out and make it look like there's likely to be interesting things going on and lots of bits and pieces to catch your interest in the town. My little Minecraft towns put me in mind of Bethlehem, the town where Jesus was born. And our Bible verse for today tells us a little bit about that. Advent Day 11. It reads from Luke chapter 2 verses 6 and 7. while they were in Bethlehem, the time came for the baby to be born. And she, that's Mary, gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. Well, I don't know about you, but I only really use the word manger when I'm thinking about the Christmas story. But actually, of course, it's just a word for an animal feeding trough, not really the sort of place you want to put a newborn baby. But in that little town, there was no guest rooms available. And yet Bethlehem would have been full of distant relatives all coming to stay. But not one of them was willing to give up their guest room so that Mary could have her baby. And so Jesus, the King of the world, was born and laid in the straw in an animal feeding trough. How amazing. Thanks for watching. Join me again tomorrow as we open the next day of my Christmas countdown. Bye!